One thing that's very clear as this election season unfolds is that neither the Democratic nor the Republican Party is going to emerge from this election season looking much like they went into it. They're going to fundamentally change as political parties. And to get an understanding of the dimensions of where that might go, let's spend a minute on the last time there was a fundamental change in the two political parties. And again, it happened at about the same time, in the 1960s. Going into 1964, the Republican Party was a liberal Republican Party, pro-civil rights, antagonistic to the Democrats in the South, in favor of African-American rights, really the dependable supporter of civil rights, pro-big business, but also liberal. The Rockefeller Republican. It was sort of a pale copy of the Democrats, not wanting to spend quite as much money or have quite as big a government, kind of a drag on it, but yet, on the other hand, a very strong progressive party, and part of the liberal consensus that dominated the United States. After 1964, when Goldwater defeated Rockefeller, it was a fundamentally changed party. Its center of gravity moved from the Northeast to the Sun Belt. It stopped being pro-Wall Street and became pro-small business. It stopped being secular, and evangelical values came to be important and ultimately to be, in many cases, dominant. And it shifted from a party that was strongly pro-civil rights to one that was anxious to slow it down and to protect whites against the field tilting too far in the other direction. A very fundamental change in the party. At the same time, the Democrats were undergoing a tremendous change. The Democratic Party going into 1968 was the war party. They were the folks that led us into Korea, that led us into Vietnam. For what it's worth, World War II happened on their watch. They were the party of preparedness, of national security. They were also a political party dedicated to the South and insensitive to the needs of minorities, and very much the embodiment of the post-World War II consensus, with a strong anti-communist, almost militant Democratic Party. And in the late 60s, all that changed. It became the Peace Party. It became the secular values party, embracing feminism and civil rights and environmentalism and help for the handicapped and so on. And it became increasingly the friend of minorities. It also became a much bigger spending party, and one much more dedicated to social welfare programs. A sharp change between the political parties. And if you look at the partisan configuration happening now, I believe it's very possible that after this election season is over, the Republican and the Democratic parties will have changed in some very fundamental ways that are hard to predict at this point, but look to me like the same order of magnitude as the changes that occurred during the 1960s. Thanks for watching.